All right, hello wine-drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and as I always say, or on a regular basis, job keeps getting better when I see people like Chappellet walking in the back door, and he makes one of my favorite wines in Napa Valley. One of the best values also, coming from the hill, Pritchard Hill I'm talking about. His family was the first one up there in the 60s. Yes, before David Arthur Long and his, and then everybody else followed. Everybody up there now is at such a high level of quality. You look at Colgan, Bryant, some of the big ticket wines up there, but there's nothing up there that is short of most excellent on my rating scale, which confuses people. I don't rate wine with numbers. Just emphatic expressions, and most excellent is the second highest. Killer is the highest rating. I've given a lot of wines from Pritchard Hill. That Killer seal of approval from the Wine Watch here, like their Pritchard Hill wine, which Cyril didn't have with him, you know. I mean, I know we're getting some. We buy a lot of Chappellet, and he's going to get a lot of friends with the new release, which got 99 plus points. Come on, Robert Parker. How about throwing the 100-point score, showing us some love to Chappellet, the first winery on Pritchard Hill, who's given a lot of their neighbors 100-point scores. But, you know, hey, you don't want that. People are just going to want your wines that got 100 points. They're going to want it anyways because that 99 plus. I don't know how many wines I've ever seen with that. But the Chenin Blanc is what we started out with today, 2013. They've been making Chenin Blanc since 1968, and they stopped producing it in 2004. They were the only ones in Napa Valley that made it. Pine Ridge used to make one, but that's now a California appellation. But Mom really likes it, so she convinced them to plant 3 acres up there at the winery. About 1,100 cases a year they get from that. This is a brilliant Chenin Blanc, one of the greatest examples coming from California. I've always loved this wine. It's got a good amount of fresh pear, white peach-like fruit, some pretty white floral notes, really lovely bouquet, thick and juicy wine on the tongue, lovely texture, creamy, with those floral notes showing through on the finish, and a nice freshness. You know, high-altitude wines give you a little orange blossom floral note at the end. Excellent juice at $34. All right, the 2012 Chappellet Chardonnay, 13 and 12, both outstanding vintages. The fruit for this comes from the Laird family vineyards in Carneros. It's not good Chardonnay up there on the hill. And they got 1,000 acres of vineyards there, 1,000 acres of land up in Pritchard Hill, but only 125 are planted. Very rugged terrain up there. And like I said, they purchased this fruit. This wine's got a lovely bouquet, ripe tropical fruits, creme brulee, notes of fresh buttered popcorn, ripe peach and apple fruit, a fresh, zesty, lemony note to the finish, and a little bit of toasty oak spice, a little vanilla in there, and excellent Chardonnay. Lovely balance and richness at $29.25. All right, and then Sonoma Loeb. Hey, this is it's a winery that is now owned by Chappellet. It's all purchased fruit, and used to be owned by the former Danish ambassador, and I guess he was getting up there and had no one to leave it to or anything. So, you know, Cyril said, hey, we'll buy the label from you. These guys got a great reputation for Chardonnays. We had 3 of them. Actually, not on this afternoon. We were just talking about it. Chardonnay Ray happened to be in the house with us, and of course, when he's there and he talks, people send samples. They know of his Chardonnay, legendary Chardonnay drinker here in South Florida. So the 2012 Sonoma Chardonnay, the best value in the 3. This wine had lovely tropical fruit, nice buttered toast, hint of vanilla bean spice, really nice balance on the tongue, texture of skim milk, green apple, just a note of oak spice, short but pleasant finish, very good little example of a Sonoma County Chardonnay. The Private Reserve, this wine showed some nice rich butterscotch notes, a little bit more heavy on the palate also, ripe peach, some creme caramel, really nice balance. So these 2012s, an outstanding vintage. You know, 2011 wasn't as bad in Sonoma as it was in Napa. Very different climate conditions there. The Envoy Chardonnay, though, was my favorite here. This had a nice touch of vanilla spice, the creme brulee notes on the nose, some lemon citrus, pineapple, green apple fruit. Really nice richness on the palate, but nice balance. People have all dialed down the oak because you don't want a wine that tastes like a piece of wood. Anyways, the Sonoma Loeb Pinot up next from Sonoma County. This is San Giacomo and Dutton Ranch fruit, and a good amount of cherry pie fruit here. Strawberries, some notes of fresh flowers, brown spice. They make 15,000 cases total here under this label, the Sonoma Loeb label, that is. And a nice silky, smooth, velvety texture. One of the things we love about Pinot. Bright red cherry fruit, pretty floral notes, and notes of spice at the end there. An excellent Pinot at $22. Maybe the best value in the lineup if you like Pinot. The Dutton Ranch up next. Very famous vineyard here. This has got a little bit more intense bouquet there of spice and floral notes, raspberry, red berry fruit, hints of cola and other brown spices. Really complex bouquet. The 2013 vintage looks really good for Pinot Noir in Sonoma. Thick and juicy on the tongue, velvety texture, really ripe cherry liqueur-like fruit, nice concentration richness. This wine had a long lingering finish that's floral and spice notes. Most excellent juice at $37. Very impressive, both of these Pinot Noirs. All right, and then we have the Cabernet. Not the Pritchard Hill. Sorry, we didn't have that. We will have it for sale, but the 2012 Napa, which is mostly Pritchard Hill fruit. They make about 7,000 cases of this white label cab, and a bit of Petit Verdot, Malbec, and Cabernet Franc in there also, and really dense on the nose here. Lovely fresh plowed earth. You get that mountain fruit, coffee, espresso, dark chocolate, really rich currants, cassis, dark berry fruit, thick and chewy on the tongue. These 2012s have got a lot of seductive forward fruit, though. Drinking really nice now, that cassis, black currant, but a host of dark earth, really ripe tannins, dark spices, juicy, long layered finish. This wine needs a little time. Better with a decade in your cellar, but hard to resist these wines right now for $60. One of the best values that you'll find, made with mostly Pritchard Hill fruit. All right, that's what we had to drink with our friend Cyril Chappellet. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.